Now on CoastTV News.
Lawsuit filed against Sussex County Council.
I'm disappointed.
The developers behind a Route 24 shopping center claim Sussex County Council didn't follow its own code.
Milford roundabout delayed.
It does seem ongoing.
The reasons for the setback.
Farmers hurt by the cold.
I can't really remember a winter this intense.
Mother Nature's cold shoulder to Sussex County agriculture.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
A lawsuit against Sussex County Council over a zoning denial of a proposed shopping mall on Route 24. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. Our top story tonight, plans for a Costco and Target and more being taken to Chancery Court.
Just hours ago, the developer behind Atlantic Fields filed suit asking a judge to intervene. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson live in Lewis. Brandon, the developer claims the county council did not follow the county's own zoning code.
Maddie, this lawsuit revolves around a January 13th denial of a zone change for this land by Sussex County Council. Now, if last month's zone change was successful, it would have allowed developers to start the process of turning this field into a massive shopping mall. The developers say they have a strong case against Sussex County, but some people who live less than a mile away from this site are hoping that the lawsuit is not successful. 73 acres of farmland to be transformed into a shopping mall. That's what developer Ben Hoskins was hoping before Sussex County Council shot his rezoning application down. Hoskins claims the county council's denial was illegal.
When the decision was handed down, one was that the application did not conform with the C4 zoning code, and specifically because it didn't have any residential. Frankly, that's just not true. It's a misreading of the zoning code.
Robert Senor lives in the Belterre community where many neighbors oppose Atlantic Fields, citing traffic and congestion. Senor can't believe the lawsuit.
It's pathetic to have a lawsuit to try to put it where it is right now today. I mean, there's a lot of people in this development that put in a lot of work and effort into trying to make this not happen. And now it looks like it may happen again. So I'm disappointed.
A spokesperson for Sussex County Council declined to comment on the lawsuit. The developers say this project will bring much needed jobs and stores here to Sussex County, like that Costco and Target. The developers are asking the court to void Sussex County's denial, asking for a new vote and hearing. Live in Lewis, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Brandon. And this is the plot of land that we're talking about. It is just off Route 24 on the corner of Mulberry Knoll Road. That's not far from Beacon Middle School.
There is a precedent for rehearing. This happened at the Overbrook Town Center. That would have been a large shopping mall at Route 1 and Cave Neck Road. Overbrook was first denied in 2016, and just like with Atlantic Fields today, the developer filed a lawsuit, and a court ordered county council at the time to rehear the application. They did and denied it again in 2018, and now that property is set to become the seaside development with hundreds of homes.
And a property near Atlantic Fields on Route 24 was recently approved by the Sussex County Council. More than 39 acres of farmland on Route 24, currently a horse property, that can be rezoned, so eventually it'll have businesses and apartments. However, a group of neighbors called the Route 24 Alliance have filed a petition with the courts asking a judge to reverse the zoning. In Milford, parts of Airport Road and Canterbury Road have been closed for months as construction of a new traffic circle continues. The roundabout is really coming along. This circle and some roads were originally set to be open and back open in just 3 weeks, but the city's saying with the cold weather we've had and the wet spots around the area from the ice melting, crews have not been able to work some days. The city says that they anticipate they'll now need an extension on the project. The original reopen date for the two roads was March 6. Not looking as promising now. The closures are making way for a new roundabout. You can see it on the screen. It's a city project required by DelDOT to improve traffic flow before the multi-million-dollar Milford Corporate Center takes shape. One neighbor we spoke with says she's ready for the project to be done.
It does seem ongoing, and then it's affected further down. So the detours have been sort of convoluted.
One important thing to note, the city says that an extension on construction won't change the cost of the project.
The recent freezing temperatures from the storms left a mark on Delmarva's farmers. Now some are counting losses. Others share what they were worried about while trying to keep animals safe. Coast TV News reporter Drew Bellinger shows us how farmers have and are handling their crops and critters.
Farms of all kinds across Delmarva, seeing the impacts from this winter's cold.
I can't really remember a winter this intense.
Patrick Carey of Carey Apiary and Farm in Frankfort says this winter killed an entire one of his bee colonies.
I mean, it's not only is it sad and depressing to lose a bee colony, but there is a value behind that. A bee colony is worth about $250 with the potential of making 40 pounds of honey. So you're looking at losing something that's worth a couple $1,000s.
Carey shared this video from Wednesday showing a happily active hive now that things are slightly warmer. He says bees were the main loss, while his apple, blueberry, and other trees are doing just fine. Cold temperatures still here in Delmarva, and just like us, most farm animals want to hunker down and stay warm, but some farmers that we spoke to say that for some animals, doing that could actually be deadly. Luann Riley at Riley Brothers Farm in Millsboro says they avoided major losses.
When calves are born, they need to be up and moving within a half hour at the most so they can get colostrum, so they can get moving. So when they're cold, if they don't get up and move, that is very stressful and even deadly on them.
Riley says while cattle are bred to be outdoor animals, people aren't, and that means preparing for the cold affects her more than it does the animals. But it's all a part of being a farmer here along the coast. For Coast TV News, I'm Drew Bellinger.
Let's go ahead and take a live look outside into Ocean City. An absolutely beautiful sky there. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a look at our weather.
Well, the winds have started to back down a bit for us, but they're still going to stay quite lively going into a good portion of tomorrow morning, dropping the wind chill into the teens. Just keep that in mind, although it's going to get better when we get into the actual weekend. But in Laurel right now, we can see this camera shaking just a little bit because of the winds, and 34 degrees. Now, we anticipate dropping down to 32 as early as 10 o'clock this evening. That hits us right there at freezing. Now, we're no longer under the small craft advisory along the Atlantic side. We still have the active small craft advisory throughout the Chesapeake Bay, meaning that we're going to stay a little breezy as you're traveling across the bridge. So keep that in mind. Now, coming up, we'll talk more about what to expect with a warmer weekend.
Thank you, Paul. In a tragic accident, a 2-year-old boy was hit and killed by an Ocean City tram in August of 2024, which led the town of Ocean City to permanently ban trams on the boardwalk. Now the town is planning to have pedicabs that are similar to this. You can see it on your screen. On Tuesday, the Ocean City Council directed staff to move forward with the bidding process to find a single company to operate a boardwalk pedicab system. The town has outlined specific requirements for the selected operator, some rules including having at least 20 operational pedicabs. With some accommodations, people with wheelchairs, strollers, or walkers, the town also wants the service to run seasonally each year from Memorial Day through Labor Day.
There's a lot of people, they miss the tram. There's a lot of older people can't, it's 2 miles. It's over 2 miles from one end to the other, a walk. And fortunately, I'm able to walk it, but someday I might not be able to.
According to the Ocean City Mayor, Rick Meehan, if a company is found in time, you could see those pedicabs as soon as this summer.
Delaware State Police are investigating a deadly car crash in Millsboro. You see it there on Legion Road. Police say at a sharp curve, a car left the road, hit a concrete culvert pipe, went airborne, and then actually overturned into trees. The 60-year-old driver from Millsboro was not wearing a seatbelt and died at the scene.
After 10 years, Grandpa Mac on Route 1 is closing its doors. The restaurant will stay open through the end of the month. The owners say, though, this isn't goodbye to Grandpa Mac for good, just for the end of this location. They have more to come in the future.
A developer wants to build 187 homes on the former Totem Farms property off Cave Neck Road in Milton. The River's Edge subdivision will go before Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission on March 4th. And to hear what the state said about this application, you can head to coasttv.com.
The ACLU of Delaware is reminding school leaders to protect students' First Amendment rights. This after recent protests over immigration and customs enforcement actions. Sent to superintendents statewide, the ACLU says students have the right to peacefully express their views without fear of discipline.
And we're just getting started this evening.
In sports, the Phillies have cut ties with one of their better players in baseball. DSN dives into the drama behind the divorce on the diamond.
We have breezy conditions for today, and the winds are going to stay a little blustery for tomorrow, but hey, there's a warmer weekend on the books.
But first, lifelong passion turns into legacy, how one artist's journey is bringing culture and connection to the first state, when we're back in just 60 seconds.
A man from Mexico who's been in the country for about 30 years continues his passion for painting here in the area. For him, it's all about the excitement of getting to see his murals and paintings in the first state. CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us how it all started.
Gilberto Rodriguez says he started painting when he was 6 years old, something he says he has never stopped doing. Since 2015, he has had this mural at Crusoe's restaurant in Rehoboth Beach.
One of my friends, he was working here, and he said, you know, the people from the restaurant, from the owners, they are looking for somebody to do a mural in the restaurant. And I said, okay, why not? So I love that. So normally, you know, I'm always saying, you know, I'm not doing this just for money, or I have a lot of fun doing it.
Rodriguez says the owners of the restaurant are from Greece, and it took him about a week to bring them a little piece of home.
I was spending, you know, after work, I was spending my nights doing this mural, you know, during nights of 3, 4, 5 hours.
Today, it is exciting for Rodriguez to see the final product.
Sometimes, you know, when you start a mural, you get a picture, but when you're in front of the wall, it's something so different. So I start, you know, mixing the colors, so I talk with the owners. So what do you want to see in the mural? So they said they got water, they got ocean, they got very old buildings.
Rodriguez is excited to continue following his passion.
It's not about the money, it's just about your feelings. And my feelings are just, before I go from this earth, I want to leave something for the next generations of the Latinos in this country.
Leaving a legacy, one painting at a time. For Coastal Connections, I'm Ana Sofia Roman.
So, to be quite honest, we have one more cold, uncomfortable morning before we finally start digging our way out of that temperature ditch, so to speak, and start enjoying much milder conditions. But it is still a little bit on the breezy side. You can see Old Glory flying right now in ocean view, courtesy of our gutter helmet camera. We're going to drop to 31 degrees by 10 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. Now, we do have one lingering small craft advisory. That is still in effect for the folks in Cambridge, Madison, Cornersville, and Oxford and Tillman, as well as St. Michael's that kind of view us there, and Easton as well. However, on the other side, that's now been allowed to expire for us. Now, we had a high today of 37 degrees, and that was 10 below the norm for this time of the year. So, yeah, we're going back into the bottom of the barrel again, just briefly. We'll come out of it by the weekend. 26 for the overnight low in Millsboro, as well as Selbyville, Seaford, and in Delmar. Now, Friday, during the day, we'll open up with all kinds of sunshine. However, the winds will be moving primarily out of the northwest between 12 to up to 20 miles per hour. And I think that should just about do it. Now let's talk about the law of averages. Now the average is going to stay right at 47 for the next few days in a row, but we're going to go above and beyond that by Saturday. Friday's not a warm day. Make sure you get this straight now. I'm not saying Friday's going to be a great day. In fact, Friday is Friday the 13th. I believe, yeah, it is. So it's going to be a little scary with that early morning wind chill. But then after that, we start recovering very nicely. Now, you'll notice Friday morning we have temperatures in the 20s and recover in the 30s. And then for Saturday, we go into the 50s, which is a treat. The winds just knifing out of the northwest for Friday, and that's going to make the wind chill drop to this, 14, 15, and 16. That's Friday morning, and that's why Friday the 13th in the morning time is not going to be all that great, but kind of scary. But we recover nicely by Saturday, even though Saturday morning will still be at about 20. And then one other quick thing, we will have an elevated chance of precipitation on Sunday going into Monday, and here's why. This is the last thing I'm showing you before we close it out. You see, by the time we get to Sunday in the evening time, There we have the full regalia of the rain that's pushing through and actually snow in Newcastle. And then that low pulls on out of the way and drags all that precipitation right along with it. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. And we're looking at 53 on Saturday, and then we will stay in the 50s going into next week, starting Tuesday.
The Olympics are airing. They are here only on Coast TV, and right now Italy is top in the medal count.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, which Winter Olympic sport do you enjoy the most?
We're having fun with this one. Let's take a look at the screen. 45% say figure skating, but it's not a dominant lead because 22% say that snowboarding, skiing, 14% say bobsled, luge, skeleton, 17% say curling, 2% say hockey.
And I've been leaning curling.
You
we
have
do have
been.
a comment here from Jean. Too much skating.
Oh.
And no one knows what the judges are really looking at to determine scores. I don't get the popularity.
Well, Jean, you're entitled to your opinion. And if you haven't voted yet or shared your opinion, you can do that, coasttv.com or the mobile app. And we'll show you the updated results tonight at 11.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
In the majors, the Phillies cut Nick Castellanos. Philadelphia tried and failed to find a trade partner for the outfielder, who admitted today on social media why his relationship with manager Rob Thompson deteriorated last season. Now, for context, you might remember that all the way back in September, Castellanos was pulled in the middle of a game against the Miami Marlins for a defensive replacement. Castellanos said back in September that communication with his manager was, quote, questionable, at least in my experience. Today, Castellanos, as we mentioned, posted a note on his socials explaining why that happened, why he got benched. He said he brought beer into the Phillies dugout after being taken out of the game and complained to Rob Thompson about overall team rules. He said his Phillies teammates took the beer away before he even had a sip. By the way, he is still owed $20 million by the Phils and becomes a unique free agent on the market. Have a great night, Delmarva.
Quick programming note, due to the Winter Olympics until the 20th, you can watch Jeopardy on Fox 21. Same time, same show, 7:30 p.m., just a different channel during the Olympics.
So in Ocean City right now, we're at 35 degrees and the winds are starting to die down just a little bit for us. Now we'll drop down to 31 by 10 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. Now, as far as what we're expecting with the winds, we still have blustery conditions for us over in Cambridge. A small craft advisory will stay in effect until noon for tomorrow. That includes Castle Haven, Oxford, as well as the Cambridge area. Also, still going to stay blustery for us in Fairmont, Smith Island, as well as Crisfield. Just kind of keep that in mind. Our umbrella giveaway winner, Jennifer Wegling of Ocean View. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis, Restaurant Paul Davis. And then call our weather line. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruxted, Mandales, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Now, it's going to be cold and uncomfortable and not so great Friday morning, Friday the 13th morning, but then to warm up very nicely for you and your sweetie by Saturday.
Looks great, Paul. Thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.